like the beginning of the movie, JGL like pining for her for no reason. And he's sitting there arguing, there's more to her than you think. It's like, how the fuck do you know? You just
How
got
do
to
you
school
know?
5 minutes ago.
Do you love the movies? Do you miss going to the video store, acid wash jeans, and MTV with music? I know we do. Welcome to Mike and Anthony's Soda Pop Culture Club. Me, Mike, along with my co-host, Anthony.
Is that a peach fruit roll-up?
Yes, it is. Bring our take on a classic movie every Monday from the 80s, 90s, and beyond, I am an idiot. During which we will play the game and open up a six-pack of favorite scenes. We also point out a few generic scenes as well, those things that aren't so great. And at the end of the show, we will rate the movie 1 to 24 cans. 1 can is going to the prom with Joey, I presume.
And 24 cans is beer-flavored nipples. All day. All day.
I don't like beer, so...
All day. I'm sorry, Mike's Hard Lemonade-flavored nipples.
Mike's Hard Lemonade. Yeah, yes. But
Bushwhacker nipples. Bushwhacker nipples. There you go.
Bushwhacker nipples. Those are some cold nipples, though.
Yeah.
I just want to throw it out there.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
wrong with that.
You are awful. But before we get to all that, we just want to let you know we want to do movies suggested by you, and we've told you so many times how to do that, make those suggestions. But the one we really want you to do, Anthony's going to explain.
Yes. Drop us a review on Apple Podcasts. In said review, let us know the movie you'd like us to do, and we will probably do that just for you.
We probably will do that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Probably.
Definitely maybe.
I don't know. Definitely maybe. And don't forget we have Instagram, all that shit. So Google us. It all comes up.
Yes.
I wouldn't Google like, Anthony has some questionable things. So if you find him, good luck.
Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
Relax and enjoy it. Just let it happen.
You've heard of 2 girls in a cup.
Yeah.
One Anthony.
You've heard of 2 girls, a guy in a pizza place. Wait, strike that, reverse it. It's 2 guys and a girl.
That was Ryan Reynolds, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Decent movie. Came out around the same time as this.
It's a TV show.
Was a TV show.
Yes.
Yeah, TV show. Although I'm thinking of the movie
2 girls and a guy.
2 girls and a guy with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Which is kind of funny if you think of it. Like, that pretty much is Iron Man, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Iron
2 girls
Man.
and a guy every night.
That is Tony Stark. 2 of Tony Stark things. All right, so are you ready for the trailer?
Let's hit it.
There's a difference between like and love. Because I like my Skechers, but I love my Prada backpack.
Bianca Stratford is the most popular girl at Padua High.
You're asking me out?
I'm down. I've got the 411, and you are not going out and getting jiggy with some boy. I don't care how dope his ride is.
Her sister, Kat, is something else entirely.
People perceive you as somewhat tempestuous. Heinous witch is the term used most often.
The only thing they have in common...
I am the only girl in school who's not dating.
Oh, no, you're not. Your sister doesn't date.
...is one simple rule.
Okay, you can date. When she does.
But she's a mutant. What if she never dates?
And you'll never date. Oh, I like that.
For Cameron...
No one will go out with her.
It's a problem.
And what about him? I heard he ate a live duck once.
So you 2 are gonna help me tame the wild beast?
Absolutely.
Touchstone Pictures presents a story for every guy who's ever tried.
You never give up, do you?
Was that a yes?
No.
Well, then was that a no?
No.
Every girl who's ever hoped.
This is not good.
And anyone who's ever been taken completely by surprise.
She kissed me.
Where?
In the car.
10 Things I Hate About You.
There it is, mic drop. That is the movie today. Here's our breakdown by the numbers, directed by Gil Junger and starring Julia Stiles. Gil or Jill? I'm assuming Gil. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Just
Heath
want to make
Ledger,
sure.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Larissa Olenek, Larry Miller, Andrew Keegan, David Krumholtz, and Susan May Pratt. 10 Things I Hate About You was released on March 31st, 1999, taking in $60.4 million at the box office against a $13 million budget. Score is 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb and 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. Holla.
Holla at you, boy.
Boom.
What do you think about this one having a better Rotten Tomato score than Sandlot?
That's fine with me.
You're okay with that?
It's two different movies.
Really?
I'd rather discuss your Rotten Tomato score. It's in the negative. You are
What
a
are you
Rotten
talking
Tomato.
about?
You are a Rotten Tomato. After what you did to the Sandlot last week, you're a Rotten Tomato.
I'm not a Rotten Tomato. I'm just an honest man giving an honest review about a movie.
You're not even a Rotten Tomato. You're the tomato after it's gone so rotten it's turned to paste. And it doesn't even resemble a tomato. That's how I feel.
All right, are you ready for the game?
Yeah, I've been ready. Are you
We're
ready?
ready for the game. I had to make the game.
Are you ready?
What was that?
Are you ready?
I am now. Okay.
Okay.
We all know the game. The game is where I'm going to read Anthony 3 movie reviews. 2 of them are real. 1 of them is fake. And as usual, he's got to guess the fake one. And you two can play along and try and guess and probably have more success than him. I'm guessing.
Or I can go par for the course and guess the 2 real ones before guessing the fake one.
Although in honor of this movie...
Quite often I do that.
In honor of this movie, I think you'll have a bogey.
Oh.
So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Bob Bloom, Rec Arts Movies Reviews. It's a fast food film, easy to digest, but nothing remarkable or memorable. Michael Ekman, Seattle Times. Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles lift this to an average movie. Rob Blackwelder, Spliced Wire. Most of the picture is flat, spiritless, and hopelessly staged. All right. Let's see if he's good. I bet you've already guessed it.
Read the first one again.
Bob Bloom, Rec Arts Movies Reviews. Okay. It's a fast food film, easy to digest, but nothing remarkable or memorable.
Okay. What's the second one again?
Michael Ekman, Seattle Times. Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles lift this to an average movie. And the last one, Rob Blackwelder, Spliced Wire. Most of the picture is flat, spiritless, and hopelessly staged.
Okay. It took me a second, but it's the second one.
And why is that?
Michael Ekman.
Did you cheat?
No, he's the peach fruit roll-up.
I tried to get you with somebody in the movie to fuck with you. I was going to use Chastity. Would you have known Chastity Church if I'd have used that name?
Is that Gabrielle Union's character?
Yeah, it is her character.
Okay.
But I didn't know if you would known it. I've known it because you're kind of an idiot sometimes.
Sometimes, kind of a lot of times, but whatever.
A fruit roll-up. That's a fruit roll-up, motherfucker.
I got a peach fruit roll-up because you don't see those anymore.
Peach fruit roll-up sounds tasty about right now. I'm just going to throw that out.
I remember when they used to have apple ones, and I don't know if they still have those either. This is like when I was a kid. So
were they green apple?
No, just apple. Apple.
Just apple?
Yeah.
Green apple I could dig. I could get behind. Apple seems like it would be hard to replicate in a good way. It'd be more like weird apple.
It's a fruit roll-up.
I get it. But they have real fruit, right?
Sugarized fruit leather.
I thought they made them with real fruit, though.
Well, I'm sure they do, like a teaspoon per 20-gallon barrel.
Now this movie, okay, let's get into it, man.
Ever look at made with 10% real fruit or 10% real fruit juice?
Yeah. It's 10%.
90% bullshit that's going to kill you or give you testicular cancer.
90% carcinogen. 10%.
Yes.
Doable.
Like the original Coke recipe.
Yes, that is true.
10% cola, 90% cocaine.
Okay, let's get into this movie. This movie is, I want to say I think I've said this before, but not on here. This movie is based on The Taming of the Shrew by Shakespeare, and they obviously lay it on thick because the one chick is like
all involved.
She's involved. Yes, involved. and even the teacher does a little cultural appropriation the other way to do a rap to Shakespeare.
So in Taming the Shrew, did someone get shot in the arse with an arrow?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I have never read or seen or whatever the Taming of the Shrew, so I can't tell you. But but when it comes to Shakespeare, he has some plots that are recycled over and over again. Obviously, Romeo and Juliet, Pygmalion, I believe, isn't that his? And that was that a Pretty Woman? I forget. Or was that, which one was it that was Pygmalion? We did a movie where Pygmalion was one of the things. And there's this one. Well, you're supposed to know this shit. I think it might be Can't Buy Me Love. I think it might be that.
All right. Whatever. You're supposed to know this shit because you're the one bringing it up. Ask Mark.
You're supposed to remember everything.
I do remember everything. I know fucking Shakespeare gets recycled and everything, like you said. Fucking RoboCop.
Yeah.
Everything.
Et tu, Brute.
Exactly.
Talk about, when we look at movies today, and we love movies, right? And we do all of them on here.
Well,
and
I do. You don't. After we did The Sandlot, I know now you don't love movies.
We know that we don't love all of them. I still love movies. I still would watch it, right? But all the moments we remember in all these movies. But then you think Shakespeare and how all of his moments, we know them even though we may never seen the plays, right? Like, isn't that crazy? Like, it's his mark is so strong that years from now, they'll still be talking about him. Will they still be talking about this movie, 10 Things I Hate About You, is a good question.
Well, we're talking about it right now.
We are, and it's 24 years later, pretty much. Pretty close. That's a long time. It makes you feel old because this movie was pretty cool. What I love about it... Go ahead.
Hold on. Speaking of old, because I was wanting to bring this up, and then I actually looked it up, and I was like fucking flabbergasted. Forever watching this movie, I was always like, how fucking old is Bogey Lowenstein? He is like 43 in this movie. I looked it up. He's like the same age as all of them. He was born in 1977.
That's crazy.
I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Bogey Lowenstein.
He looks like he's 43 in that movie.
That's Nigel with the brie.
Remember, kids, don't touch anything.
I'd fucking punch that kid. I wouldn't be able to hang out with him.
I think he got punched that night at some point at the party.
Yeah, he got something. But I do like the opening of this movie, how it had the real world styling with the way they showed the city skyline at first, and they had the font and all of that. It switched to something else, but you could tell they were really grabbing from contemporary of what teenagers would want to look at and what would see, and they tried to put it in there. I don't know if it was, like some of the reviews I read you were negative, right? And not even the one I wrote that.
Are you talking about real world style or the real world?
The real world from MTV.
That's why I said, because I love that they throw that in there too. You've got
that's in there later as well, but the
real world Seattle,
which I want to point out, this movie is in Seattle, but you really don't see anything hardly from Seattle. The only time you see a fish throne is in that real world intro that she's watching. Yeah.
All you see is these kids go to school at fucking Hogwarts in a goddamn fucking mansion of a campus.
Padua High School. Yeah.
How fucking rich are these kids?
Well, the
so rich that you, in fact, don't need to buy your Izod's at an outlet mall. We know this.
She has a Prada backpack. That tells you enough, but her father is a gynecologist, obviously, and up to his elbows in placenta. Which I was going to say, was that line originally supposed to be up to my elbows in vaginas, but they just didn't want to put it through?
I have no idea.
It seems like that, because you're not in a placenta. A placenta is like an organ that comes out after birth.
Yeah, but it gets on your elbows.
I guess maybe that'd be some weird shit.
I think it sounds better than I was up to my elbows in afterbirth. So
right.
I don't think it was ever I was up to my elbows in vagina, because I don't think that's the way he wants to represent that to his kids.
No, I think it was the original line and they cut it. Personally, I think they said, that just sounds too much. Like, I think they thought it was too much talking to a teenager, so I think they changed it.
If anything, it was going to say I was up to my elbows in preteen vagina. He would have had to harp more on the fact that
Teenage vaginas, yeah.
I'm
yeah,
delivering
something like
babies from babies.
babies to babies. Yeah, that's sad. Let's not get into that. That's sad. But I do love this. What I love about this movie is this is a pre-teen or a pre-smartphone teen movie, right?
Yeah.
Like when you watch this, I wonder what teenagers now think when they see this and they see them all having a good time and not on their devices. Like, I wonder how they feel. Like, do they think, how are they having a good time? They don't even have an iPad or a video game, or like, do they look at that and think that, or do they still identify a good time can be had?
Well, here's the thing. Yes, a good time can still be had, because if you're Heath Ledger's character, you go to the bar and drink underage. If you're any of them, you go to Bogey Lonestein's party and congregate him around Mr. Cuervo.
Do they have parties like that?
If you're Joey, you model fucking hemorrhoid cream and you drive around a fancy car.
How do you model a hemorrhoid cream?
I don't know, but apparently...
Check out the cream on this finger.
Just give you the look.
His tube after his big tube sock goes,
big tube sock ad, yes.
And
So,
what are you modeling there? Is he going to be like full standing?
They're all doing some bad shit.
I don't know. I think
they're not posting on fucking TikTok.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if like a teenager now could wrap their head around not, because I feel even though you say those are things they could do, I still think that they're so wrapped up in their devices and connected to it that not looking at something every 2 seconds, and when there's a moment like where you're just sitting there listening to somebody, not looking down at your device, like that's a thing you do now. And I'm thinking, like, in this movie, do they watch it and go, man, they must have been really bored just standing there talking to each other and like no one like looking through their Instagram real quick to like a few things, or watching TikTok while trying to be engaged with people. Because that's something I see common. That's common now.
You have to get to know somebody. What the fuck?
Oh God! Don't say hi.
Jesus.
Did you love David Krumholtz's character doing the click breakdowns?
Absolutely. So I love click breakdowns in any movie.
That's my favorite. Yeah, it's our favorite thing in a movie. Like they had it in what is it? Mean Girls,
Clueless,
PCU.
Disturbing Behavior, which I think is probably the best one that's ever been done.
Well, PCU, come on.
No, Disturbing Behavior.
Okay, whatever.
You probably don't remember it, or you never saw it.
I'll have to watch it again.
You have to watch that click breakdown because that's one of the best ones ever.
And Heather's kind of had it. That's a good one.
I don't remember them having a click breakdown though.
They broke down the groups, but not like only the 3 groups.
It was never really explained that well.
Yeah.
I like these other movies.
Not as good. But you like that? Do you like the I used to be their god to them until Pokemon.
Yesterday I was their god. Possible takeover. Don't worry, he'll pay.
Yeah, that was great. I love that. But as he's doing that though, and he's explaining these clicks, which is pretty awesome. Joseph Gordon-Levitt sees Bianca and is like taken. And I was watching thinking like, is she that hot?
I know, she's fucking Alex Mack. What the hell?
She's like, yeah, she's cute. She's cute, I guess. Like if you were a teenage boy, it's not like Nadia in American Pie.
Here's the thing: is Julia Stiles that hot?
She's cute. She's a dancer, so yeah.
So I mean,
but she's a great actress. She carries that role because of who she is more than.
This is when JGL was in his young, awkward-looking phase.
Great actor. I will still say, and it's a 6-pack of mine later, this movie did not probably deserve the cast that's in it. Because this cast is ridiculous.
It is
like
ridiculous.
You said, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Let's see. Heath Ledger, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Julia Stiles, Allison Janney, David Krumholtz, the guy who plays the father, forget his name. I mean, this cast is better than the script. Let's put it that way. This cast is better.
Fuck.
Better.
Now I'm drawing a blank. What's her name? Bianca's friend.
Gabrielle Union? Yeah. Gabrielle Union, pardon me. That one too. So I'm saying, yeah, they have so many people that are in this that it's like they're better than what they're doing. And that to me is kind of crazy.
Totally disagree, because most of these people hadn't really done anything yet. So you can't say that.
I don't know. But you could see how good they were at the time. You could tell. That's why you liked it so much.
What do we got here so far? Secret World of Alex Mack and Third Rock from the Sun. That's all we've got so far going into this movie. Yeah, Real Union hadn't even done Bring It On yet.
And Allison Janney, I don't think she had done anything. The principal, I don't think she had done anything exceptional at that point. I don't remember because she was in a TV show. She's pretty big. She'd been on TV for a while, so she's done enough. So you knew who she was.
Yeah,
she was in the Cowboy Way even. But when you watch this, this was like Heath Ledger's coming out party. I think in some ways, right? Like oh my God, this guy is really good, and that's why it was, because it was really good. And Julia Stiles, I mean, it's kind of a thing for her too. She comes out on this one. I think before this, what did she do? Nothing, really nothing. She was in
not much yet.
Yeah, she was in Wide Awake, Devil, I Love You, I Love It. 4 movies that never heard of. And after that, you got Down to You. You got her in Hamlet, Save the Last Dance, The Bourne Identity, which is a big thing, a guy thing. So many movies. She ended up doing so much. That's why it's like, to me, that's why this is, people noticed, and that's why I think they're better than the movie. I know you don't believe me. And David Krumholtz goes on to do numbers for 10 years or 12 years, plays an amazing role. And that was a great series.
I don't think they're better than the movie. I think this movie definitely played a part and helped a lot of them because it's a very memorable movie with such a great cast. And fucking Chill is in it. Rapping Shakespeare. What the hell?
I'll say Krumholtz at least had done Santa Claus, and he was a pretty big part in that.
Okay, so I have a question now.
Yeah.
Because I want to know how you feel about this.
Go ahead.
Can you just ever be whelmed?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, I think that's so insightful.
I believe you can. Isn't that
overwhelmed and underwhelmed? Can you just be whelmed?
Whelmed is a word, right? Like,
I'm going to use that from now. I'm just going to be like, I am so whelmed.
To whelm is engulf, submerge, or bury. And so if you're whelmed, it's the past tense or past participle. So you can be submerged or buried.
So I'm either overly buried or I'm underburied.
Yeah, so you could be underburied or overburied is what to pick. But if you say I've been whelmed.
Buried.
I'm buried.
I'm just fucking buried.
I was submerged. I was engulfed in this. I was whelmed. You can be whelmed. That's why it's a dumb question. Yes, you can be. But this is one of my things, and I have and that's a generic for me in this movie.
What's that?
Kind of. There are times that felt like this movie is trying to bite off of Clueless's style, like the whelmed conversation. So I felt like, and they were talking about their Prada backpack, to me, it looked like it was trying to use a little bit of that. I'm not saying it was totally the same, but it felt like it borrowed a little bit.
Every movie does, though. And this is also just, I
don't like Clueless that much. So therefore
you're a complete fucking idiot. You are so beyond
I gave it a higher rating than The Sandlot.
So beyond whelmed. But you're doing a teen comedy about a bunch of fucking rich kids when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
So you're going to have those types of conversations with them. You're going to have stupid shit like that come up.
Yeah, I agree. But I agree you can have dumb conversations, but it seemed like this was too on the nose of something that similar to things that might have been said in Clueless.
I don't think so.
Not the exact.
Because they didn't have cell phones, so they were just left to their own stupid devices, and dumb conversation was part of it.
Actually, I think there were more cell phones in Clueless than this movie. Because she used it to call to get a ride, didn't she?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Well,
there was no
uber rich.
Oh, yeah. These people weren't. In 1999, though, you'd think rich, you could have
Doesn't
one.
matter. You go Clueless, Joey from this would be her pool boy. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going to give my generic. I'm going to give my generic
Go ahead.
for this movie. Fucking Joey.
Joey's a generic.
Joey is a generic fucking douchebag. It's bad. It's so bad.
Well, there are some things I like. I like, he's trying to bribe Verona to, and obviously that's a nod to Shakespeare as well. Patrick Verona is in Italy, and it's featured in Romeo and Juliet, I believe, and it might even be in Taming of the Shrew. I don't know, but he's bribing Verona to take out Kat, and well, he's an asshole because he's doing this. But what I like about Verona is when he goes to bribe him, he's like, well, it'll be whatever for popcorn. And
Yeah.
I think he had the prices correct for
53.
what Raisinets and popcorn cost now when you go to the movies. I mean, I think he was telling the
$15.
future.
Go to the movies, $15. She'll want popcorn, 53. Yeah.
And then the rest.
No, it is.
See,
it is.
It was pretty. I like that. I like that. Joey's an asshole, but we get that cool scene because he's in it,
Well,
right?
I gotta say too, Joey's an asshole, but he's so fucking rich, and his first offer is $20.
Even in 1999, that feels
fuck,
cheap.
dude. Really?
Yeah, $100 today. I looked it up. Was worth about 180 then. So when you think about it, $20 back then was like giving him $30 pretty much, right? Like pretty close to a little bit. So that even then that feels cheap.
So it's like it's like, I want you to take this girl out that is impossible to date, but I'm not even going to give you enough money initially to go on a date
in Seattle.
In fucking Seattle. Take her out for a cup and a half of coffee.
Yeah, find a Starbucks because that's where you're going. That's where you're going. Oh. But what I really like is his opening line when he walks up to Kat. Hey there, girlie. That has to be the worst come-on line I've ever heard.
Way worse. That's smooth.
That is. Hey there, girlie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't use Australian slang. Hey Sheila, what's up?
Sheila would have been good. Nice, yeah.
Now, I do want to say, they're all talking about Kat being such a bad person.
Yeah, dingo. Sorry, what?
Dingo ate my baby.
Hey, dingo.
Everybody knows that. But I have a generic here, and it's that everyone says Kat is a loser because of who she is, and she doesn't conform to their standard.
They don't say she's a loser. They just say
her sister repeatedly calls her a loser.
Oh, well,
pardon me.
Her sister is a loser.
Yes, at some point, but everyone feels she's a reject or a bad person because she doesn't think the way they do or like to do the things they do.
No, they think
that's a generic to me.
Inaccessible.
Yeah, and I get it. Because the movie's based. Go ahead.
She's Laney.
Yeah, right. Because the movie's. But Laney was ugly, remember? But Laney was ugly.
Glasses and overalls.
Yeah, but she's not ugly.
Fucking camo and shit.
That might have been Pygmalion. I don't know.
If she didn't read last night's Cosmo.
But this movie is based on Taming of the Shrew, right? And she is the shrew. But a shrew is a sexist word. It means a nagging, mean-spirited woman. It's a very sexist word.
Let's just call her a dingo for the rest of this then.
So, I mean, they could have just, they could have made her really mean because I never thought she was really mean. I thought she was just other people were bothering her, and so she gave them shit for it. I never thought she was really mean in this movie ever. Until the only time she was mean was when Verona wouldn't kiss her in the car, in my opinion.
She's mean. She has a mean exterior.
Yeah.
She
puts on a front, but
she's got some walls up.
She's got walls up, yeah.
She hates stupid people.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say, do you think the car accident? I don't think she'd be at fault. By the way, when Joey parks his car behind her and she backs up illegally parks.
Yeah,
I think they probably would have cited both people, one for backing out into a car and the other one for parking illegally and abandoning their car. He might even been at fault for the whole thing.
Well, he was. He's at fault for being a dick.
And he had a witness because I'm guessing Verona would probably say he parked behind her. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't be like a jerk. Well, I don't know. Maybe it would be.
I would have loved
He's supposed to be some. Go ahead.
I'd love to see how that scene unfolded because the cops had to be called, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what there's so many things like that. You're like, what happened?
Right.
What happened? What happened? I got a question for you. Do you think anybody ever went through your room when you weren't there? Like they did cats?
I don't know.
Like searched your shit? And how would you feel if you caught them?
If I caught him?
Like just looking through your shit.
Depends on what they found.
It's not about what they found. You don't know. They might have found it, put it away, and then stored that nugget.
I don't see anybody doing that. I think that would have been...
But how would you feel about it if you caught them in the act?
I've never been blackmailed for it, so nobody ever found anything.
I get that. Okay, I get that. But that's the thing that happened to Kat, though. I'd go apeshit if I caught him. But the thing is, in this movie, she never finds out. She doesn't know that her sister totally fucking helped them.
Going through her shit.
Even at the end, she doesn't. It's not like she said, "Oh, I went through your room and gave them some help." Like they didn't cop to that.
Showed them your undies.
Yeah, show them your black underwear. Which that has to be a total farce.
What's that?
No, a girl buys black underwear not because she wants black underwear, not because she wants some guy to see it. Or girl, whatever you're into.
Black panties.
Panties, underwear, lingerie, whatever.
Nah, well, if you're looking at Kat's character, she is the type of person that would specifically avoid something like that because of her beliefs that she would never own something like that. So no, I disagree.
I don't think that
on principle.
She might like the way she looks in them. She might like the way she feels in them.
That makes her look sexy to a man.
But maybe she likes the way she looks in them, so therefore she bought them because she likes them, not because she wants someone else to like them. See, that's what I think most women would do.
No, because
they like the way they look. They don't care what we think.
Then she's conforming to every other fucking teeny bopper girl that goes to the mall every day to find what they look cute in.
Yeah, but they then go wear it out in public. She doesn't. She just wears it for herself.
Well, I hope she's not going to just wear panties on public.
Let's get into that. I think I might have a generic here. I don't know. But I'll talk about the room, their bedrooms, Bianca's and Kat's bedrooms. Bianca's looks like a 90-year-old grandmother's room.
Yeah, her room sucks.
And then Kat's looks like the consumer-driven teenager who buys all the albums with all the posters. She's exactly the opposite of what she purports to be in her room. Her room should look like Bianca's, like nothing in it. But it doesn't. It's got all the shit. It's got all the shit on the walls.
So it's like Bianca's room is Molly Ringwald's room, and Kat's is her friend's room.
Yeah.
The grandma's room and the cool room.
Yeah.
Because we had the same thing in 16 Candles.
It's true. All right. Okay, so I have another 6-pack. I have a lot of six. I have more than a 6-pack in this movie. That's the problem. Maybe I shouldn't go into that. But I like when they're trying to give him that dirt or give him the information, and they tell me like she likes pretty guys. And he's like, I'm not a pretty guy. I'm not a pretty guy. So I just don't know. I can't tell. So,
I'm going to give a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Only to not let you steal it. The Serenade with the school band.
But that's later. We're not even there yet.
Care. I'm giving it because you're going to fucking take it if I don't.
I'd already had it on here, yeah. So.
I'm also going to throw out my other one.
What's
Those
that?
damn Dawson's Rivers kids sleeping in each other's beds and whatnot.
That's another one of yours?
Fuck yes, the Dawson's Creek reference, always. Always.
You have a problem. Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll give you another 6-pack, and then I'm going to get to a moment in this. But a 6-pack, I have Kat's Table Dance because
only because it was to Biggie.
You got Biggie Smalls and her getting up there and doing her thing, doing a little slut drop or whatever they call those.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever.
Shorty getting low.
Get low. But before that, I like the line that what's his name used. Beer flavored nipples that you talked about.
Yes, Verona.
I do like that. But then that made me think when we're at the party and you see Bianca drinking the beer and Chastity, and I thought to myself, I personally back then, I would have been turned off by a girl drinking beer. Just how I am.
No, that's not true because guys want girls to drink beer because it lowers their inhibitions.
I am not that guy. See, that's something you don't know
You-
about me.
yeah, you are. You support it anyways.
Well,
You support men doing that.
no, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Anyways,
You're a
I
Browns
do
fan.
not the same way I am.
You're a Deshaun Watson fan. Shut up.
I'm not a Deshaun Watson fan. Let's not
You
go
are
there.
now. Yes, you are. I'm going to give
And there was, but just for the record, there's no alcohol or drugs related to any of that. But go
that you
ahead.
know of. We don't even know that, so shut up.
But I can't put it in there if it's not to be known. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm going to give my other six pack. It's a combination, we've said this. I can't remember the movie, but I always love when you got something on TV that's nostalgic. Now, this was the two things: the real world Seattle clip,
the only fish throwing scene in the movie, by the way,
and the GLH hair system, the spray.
Oh yeah. The powder hair.
Love that.
You might need that at some point.
Why?
I don't know. You might lose hair. I don't know.
I mean, only if I keep doing the show with you. Then there's potential.
I wanted to say I wanted to, when they're at that party and Joey is so self-absorbed. I want to go back to that. At that point, I thought there is no way Bianca and Joey could be a thing because they both are too into themselves. That the other person doesn't have room to think about them. You need someone who only thinks about the other one, and that's why it didn't work out because she's not there.
See, and this is I gotta say, Bianca is so fucking stupid and backwards. Like, she does not deserve JGL at the end.
No, she doesn't.
She deserves way better.
But she does become a better person, I think. And that's kind of like I said, that very follows the Clueless thing, where the self-absorbed person becomes better at the end. And she does. She does. She goes sailing. She does things like that. I do want to call out a couple things. I have too many 6-packs. Maybe this is a 12-pack. I like Verona's pep talk
that
he gives JGL. Don't let anyone ever make you feel like you don't deserve what you want.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Of course, there are some people that's not good advice. Just want to throw it out there.
Yeah, you do not deserve that advice.
Some people don't. And I have your generic that you didn't put in here, but I know it's your generic cat's puke scene.
That's not because you don't see anything.
But it's on his shoes, and you know that.
And
so therefore, you would. That had to be. If it's not, then you're.
It doesn't bother me.
Wow, geez. So because you didn't see it, you're. Yeah, right. What did you? I respected Verona for not kissing her in the car. That's my thoughts after the party. Because she was drunk. She had been drinking. Also, she puked. I mean, she has to think about him. But
I didn't see any certs laying around in the car, so I don't even think that was a good idea.
He could have been one of those guys back in the day that left a toothbrush in the glove compartment for girls. There are guys who I knew did that. That's kind of weird.
That's fucking weird and gross. So those are serial rapists.
I don't know what they are, but I've met some guys that did that. Like, maybe he did that.
That's a red flag. If you got a toothbrush in your car, red flag.
Yeah, it's a red flag. To me, it was. But what do I know? I want to say this now because it's at this point when I figured out I don't like one person, and that's a generic for me. It's the teacher. I ended up not liking him.
Chill?
I don't like him because the way...
It was fucking Chill. How can you not like Chill?
Because he's an asshole.
Well, he always is.
When he announces the new assignment and she says, and she's genuinely excited and asks poignant questions, he tells her to get out of her office and kind of bullies her in front of everyone else and sends her away.
That's because he thinks she's messing with him.
But she's not. She's you can't assume that if she's asking things about
she's fucking gone the other way so often that now it's like, now you're just fucking with me.
Yeah.
She's cried wolf too many times, or been the wolf, basically.
I don't believe it. No, because that means anytime she opens her mouth, you're just going to send her out of the room. That you can't be that way. You can't be that way. That's why I say he's bad. He's not good.
He is too.
I like how he puts Joey in his place,
he's awesome.
But he has his moments.
Pipe down, Chachi.
Yeah, and I don't even want to get started with you guys.
That's right, man.
That's right, man. Yes. But yeah, I just wasn't a fan. Now, I want to say this. One thing that would never happen in school today, is archery. Do you think? I mean, it could. I mean,
It
I know
might,
we
I
shot
think.
guns out here in my
But
podunk
remember,
high school.
this is a very preppy, rich fucking school.
Yeah, it could be a private school, so maybe the rules are a little different.
So yeah,
But now I don't know.
That-
Any weapon in school seems
This
hard to
is-
believe.
also like kind of a inmates running the asylum type of school too. You're fucking chipping golf balls from up the hill onto the football field. You know what I mean? Like there's just random shit going on
I
everywhere.
will say I never did that, but there was
Verona's smoking a cigarette on the bench while everybody's playing soccer. I mean,
I never did what he did, but there was a couple times where I was waiting out in front of the school and I took a few golf balls, teed them up, and hit them out away from the school towards the road to see if they bounce on the road with a driver, and tried to hit them like really far. I've done that, but no one was there. Well, a car could have come around the corner, but
well, Verone smokes a cigarette on the field or on the track, basically. Uses a switchblade to dissect a frog. Lights up a cigarette in class.
Plays a fire. Yeah.
Almost kills Joseph Gordon-Levitt with a fucking drill.
Do they even let blow torches and drills in schools anymore? I don't even know.
Also,
is there shop class,
He whipped out a bratwurst to the lunch lady, and he just got sent back to class. There was no repercussions for that either.
Not his real junk. Are we supposed to think it was his real junk, or was it a bratwurst?
He was joking with the lunch lady, but even that would still get you a detention.
Yeah, and the teacher was like, whatever. And then she uses it for her...
Back to Reginald's quivering member.
Quivering bratwurst. Now, I guess it's what... Oh, yeah. I think if it were me, and once he started getting the feelings for Kat, I think he should have just let her know that Joey paid him. Because, if she's in on it, you can make more money.
Yeah.
Like, you can be like, and then she can tell her sister, and her sister can just not go out with them as much, like kind of string him along, but not go out. Like, you can really see how much money you could get out of him. That would have been an interesting plot. Like, how can you drain Joey of all his money, all his sock money?
I don't know. He went from $20 to $300, so I don't know.
That's a lot of money. I mean, yeah, he has a range, obviously.
Yes.
I don't know if that's uncomfortable money or just, whatever.
I mean, essentially, it's like, how much money is he willing to pay to nail Bianca?
Yeah. That's but like I said, but if they would have strung him along, I think that'd have been a great movie too. To me, I don't know. I'd have enjoyed it. Now, after he does his serenade, which you stole from me.
Yes, I did.
And I just want to say it is one of my 6-packs. But what I want to say, which you didn't, is that this is probably my favorite scene in all of these teen movies. I think there are like 2 or 3 that are the greatest scenes ever in these teen movies. I think this is it. I think riding on the lawnmower, I think fist in the air bender. Like,
I gotta say, even though it's a spoof, but not another teen movie where they make fun of all these. She's all that and everything. And he does this scene, but instead he sings Janie's Got a Gun. That's pretty epic.
But I don't care about that movie. So.
Janie Brigg's got a gun.
But no, I think this is great. But after that, him and Kat do go on a little date thing. And they are on the quietest paddle boat I have ever seen or heard.
Yeah, it's true.
Because when you do those things, you usually hear that splash, splash, splash.
Splash, splash, seagulls fucking barking in the air.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. And here's the thing, that paint thing, I have never seen that. Yeah, but that's not paintball.
Right, paintball.
I have never seen that other than in this movie, ever. Like,
it's
where you run around
though.
And throw paint at each other.
Right. It's funny, though. It's like that they're doing it, but then you look at the background, it's behind this fucking, like, big, giant plant.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Did they just build this? They obviously built it for the movie.
Here's
but did they get it from a real thing, or was this a original idea just so they can figure out a way to get them making each other messy and kissing on the ground?
Know,
I mean,
but I think it's brilliant because it looks like a great use of space, because otherwise that's the type of space, if it wasn't a paint balloon setup, where you go to hide a body.
Yeah, or someone's getting killed, or there's a there's a drug cartel or
make some extra
deals going
money
down.
and turn it into a community place. I like it.
Just last week, before it became the paint place, there were bodies found there. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. It's like we gotta do something, guys. Got an idea. Paint balloons. Or
Paint
guys
balloons.
and girls can go kissy face.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I thought that was a cool. But what's funny about that is that as soon as they had that great day, as soon as they were done, they had a contentious moment again. That's the only time she's shrewish is with him.
I don't think that's the only time she's shrewish. Remove head from speaker, then drive. That was pretty shrewish.
I don't think that was a bad line. I thought that was just being honest.
Oh.
Dude ran into a car. What do you want?
Just saying.
What do you want her to do? Be like, oh, that's okay. Keep running. Stay in front of me and keep running into my car. I'm okay with it.
She's bitchy to everybody throughout the movie.
I think she's just who she is.
Exactly. Bitchy.
I don't know. I don't think she's that. I don't know.
Deep down, she's not, but outwardly, yes.
What did you think of JGL's character trying to learn French so he could tutor Bianca?
Oh, I couldn't do it.
That's slightly impressive that he actually learned enough to know a little bit, but then
he didn't learn enough to know. She knew more than he did.
But he was actually understanding by the time, except for some words, and that's what I was going to say. But by the time they got to the point where she's asking him to ask her to prom, that's where he got tripped up because she obviously didn't need a tutor. She could speak it pretty well. And he's like, and he knew a little bit. He knew enough phrases, but he didn't know those things.
No, I think she did need a tutor, but she was more advanced than him. So you got to think, she needed a tutor, but she was already taking French. He had never taken French. So that's why she still knew more than him.
I think he's a smart dude who learned some French pretty quickly.
He learned some French, but he didn't learn enough to be her tutor.
Like he even learned how to do pronunciation.
How's that too? How do they let you be a tutor when you have no proof that you know any French at all?
And you just moved to that school. So it's not like they even know you as a student or your work ethic or behavior.
But they've got your transcripts. So they say,
they know he's good grades, but you don't know the person.
Ever.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he lived in 11 different places or something like that, or 12. Maybe one of them they spoke French.
I think it was 10 schools in 9 years or something.
So yeah, like maybe he lived somewhere where they speak French, like in Canada or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Is JGL Canadian though?
Well, no, they already had that conversation. Do you speak French? No, but I will.
Oh, I know that.
He already admitted he doesn't speak French.
No, he's from Los Angeles. But yeah, I knew that. But he didn't speak it. Doesn't mean he didn't live somewhere where he picked up a word or two. Doesn't mean he speak it.
A word or two does not qualify you as a tutor. That's all I'm saying.
Pourquoi? Yeah. You're exciting to watch, by the way.
Thank you.
I got a question for you. They obviously have their dad, and he's a six-pack of mine. I think he's a cool dad. He's a good dad.
Awesome.
He means well. A little archaic with his rules with the dating thing until you're graduated. I think he could be a little more flexible.
I kind of like it.
Well, I'm the only one here with a daughter, and I wouldn't be that way. But
no, you suck.
But the question is,
you just
where is their mom?
What happened to your child? She left.
Well, that we don't know. Did she leave or die? When they say left, do they mean left us as in died?
No,
left us as in left?
When she fucked Joey, she said it was right after mom left. That's
what she said. But we don't really know.
She left.
But we don't know why.
I don't understand we don't know why, but we know she left.
But left all her shit? That seems weird.
She didn't leave all of her shit. She left some pearls.
Obviously left some nice, valuable pearls.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, because I don't know. They really are ambiguous with that. They just left. Left could mean, when someone dies, they left us, a little early, before their time, You could mean it for that.
Die.
That's what I'm saying. Like, left, they just left. They didn't say left us for this or left for that or she's gone. And they're not angry. They don't seem angry about it. So
they're
that makes me
happy about it.
We don't know that they're not happy either. We don't know much.
She was not happy about it because it drove her to fuck Joey in 9th grade.
Yeah.
And guess what? After you just said you think he's a little too overbearing with his rules, I don't think so.
I think he's a little overbearing.
She went to Pound Town in the fucking 9th grade.
Well, he doesn't know that probably.
Exactly, but he's trying to prevent that. Obviously,
and the funny thing is she obviously practiced safe sex, and he's trained them well. So maybe he ought to trust that what he's already trust what he has told his kids and hope that they do right by it.
He pulled out.
Anyways, so prom.
And we also know from this Joey has a small dick.
Yeah, he's a small penis, and the cheerleading team's gonna know. Cheerleading squad.
Right then, when he fucking parked her in before she rammed his car, why don't you just go announce it right then? Just go start telling people.
Yeah, but she also doesn't want people to know she had sex with him, so it's kind of a slippery slope.
At this point, what does she care?
If she's truly liberated,
reputation at this point.
If she's truly liberated and is herself and is comfortable with her own skin, she could. Yeah,
right.
I agree with you. Now I want to get to the prom. For a couple people who weren't going to prom, they certainly had dresses lying around. Just want to throw that out.
Yeah.
Like, do you just have them? Like, I mean, maybe Kat could have had one from the year before because she's a senior. I don't know.
That looks like, again, the prom. Let's just tackle that. Where the fuck is this prom at? Like,
beautiful theater.
Jesus. That's insane.
I would love that. Although people do that now, our school doesn't do it at the school. They go to another venue, and
it's just crazy. They
rent out venues, and it's like, I mean, what's the prom budget these days? I don't even know.
That's what I'm saying. If you're in that type of neighborhood in that area, like
they have money. Their school.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm sure there's stores nearby that you can go get a $700 dress in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, true. I guess, yeah, but they have that kind of money just lying around. But at the prom, I want to talk about this. Save Ferris is the group that's playing when they get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the cover of Shout, which is pretty cool. But they also did a great cover of Come On Eileen. And it was fun. It just reminds you of that blip where we had ska music for like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones and stuff.
No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. Like it reminds you of that sound. Real Big Fish. I like that kind of music. It can be good. It's not all crazy. Some of it's a little bit weird, but they're kind of fun. They're kind of fun. I really like that. And then you have Letters to Cleo.
Yes.
Yeah, singing for. What kind of favor did he call in? How did he know them? Like the group. Like how did he know that?
That it's not Letters to Cleo in the movie.
It's Bikini Kill or whatever.
Okay. And that's her favorite band. They were playing at the Chick Joint.
The Skunk Room, which he said he'd never be seen at, which I forgot to say this. He said I'd never be seen at the Skunk Room, but he goes in there, and the first thing that happens in the bartender goes, "Hey, Verona, you're back in town. Like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?" Like,
also the fact that
how does he know him if he's never been there?
Well, he just probably knows bartenders. Maybe that bartender works different bars, and also the fact that he goes there in leather pants, which I found weird.
Badass. That's called badass. You can do that if you're Heath Ledger.
I can't be seen there, but I'm going to wear leather pants when I go.
But and just like just like other movies that we have watched, where do these teenage clubs exist, and when did they exist, and why? Like, did they really have things like this? Like, we never had these.
They didn't where we lived, apparently, in our parts. But remember, this is California or Seattle. Sorry.
True. They may have had cool things. We just may not have cool things. I don't know. Or this is an exaggeration of something. Like they had something like this, but not to the cool factor it was in the movie.
Sarah Lawrence, is that East Coast or isn't that in California?
I believe isn't that one of the Seven Sisters? It's East Coast.
It is East Coast? Okay.
Because
it's got to be. When he said it's on the other side of the country. I
believe it's, Yeah, it's a very prestigious school.
Right.
The average cost after 8 is like $36,000. So
I was just for some reason thinking it was like West Coast. I do have a question though. So this movie takes place in Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't think it's always sunny in Seattle. It's
no,
Philadelphia, but not Seattle. Where's my Twilight weather?
There was no Twilight weather or where's the blue filter
Like,
for the
where's
camera?
the blue filter? Where's the fucking rain?
I agree. Where is all that shit?
Beautiful there every single day. And you're trying to get away to tell me that's Seattle?
Yeah. It's like they only filmed on the good days, I guess.
Apparently, they go to school in July and August.
Yeah, because you got to think about that too. Although the weather there is actually temperate, it doesn't snow a lot in Seattle because of where it's at. Like it's a weird phenomenon there.
But it rains like
it
a
doesn't. Yeah, but it doesn't get super cold like it does everywhere else. Same with Vancouver, which is right across the border. However, Vancouver is famous for skiing because Whistler's there, and once you get way above elevation, then it stays cold.
Yeah.
So little geography lesson for you there. How about that?
Thanks. I appreciate it.
What I do love about Prom is a couple things. I love Bianca kicking Joey's ass.
That's good. Yes.
That's always fun to watch. It sucks that Joey had to, but it's like all these movies. It's kind of predictable, as one of our reviewers said. There always has to be the fall. Although I think there are many falls in this movie between Verona and Kat. But there has to be the main fall where she finds out the truth of something that she doesn't understand.
But I don't think Bianca being the one to kick Joey's ass was predictable.
No, that was not.
That was a nice place.
A lesser movie from the 80s would have had JGL punch him or something.
Verone would have kicked his ass.
Or Verone would have stuck up for him and kicked his ass, yes. And given him the money back and say,
Kat. That would have been the most likely, most believable.
Yeah. Kat or Verone, I could see, because Verone would do it and give him his money back and saying it wasn't worth it anyways.
I think Kat kicking his ass and then de-pantsing him to show everybody his tiny dick. That's the way it should have gone.
You just want that. You just want to see his dick, it sounds like. Okay, we get to Anthony wants to see Joey's tiny dick.
No, I don't want to. And that's pretty much the whole point of the story. You can't. It's too tiny.
Yeah.
I
guess. Though I want to talk about the father again. Like I said, he's kind of a six-pack for me. But the speech thing he gave is true. Like, when you become a spectator and not a participant.
Then you can't go to the game.
You're not at that place yet with your little one. But my kid is in college. I'm not a spectator completely yet still. So, but there'll be a point where I'm just on the sideline waiting for her to call me in. Say, hey, Dad, you're allowed to have my time again. That sucks, man. Oh, that's so true.
I don't know. From what I heard, when she was a little child, you were pretty much a spectator because you don't know.
No.
You were playing video games, teaching her curse words.
That's not a spectator. That's called an influencer.
That's
called an influencer.
You can, quit spinning things to make you not douchey.
I'm not.
That's all you do.
I'm a good father. Now, I think Kat was brave to read her poem in class, but did she need to? Did she want to just to let him hear it?
I know. It's like her, I'm still not happy with this situation.
Well, she's conflicted emotionally because she likes this person a lot. That's what it means. Mm-hmm. But my question was, should she have done it? Could she have done it a different way? And we still would have got the same point. Did it have to be in class with the dumbass teacher? Who doesn't appreciative of her in any way, of any of her point of views. So much for being a good teacher.
I think he's a great teacher.
Yeah, right. So
calls ultimately out for their bullshit.
I would say he does, but at the same time, he does it in a way that makes him condescending and a bully sometimes. He should be able to do it with a little more tact. Anyways.
Then you don't have the fun parts of the movie that you have from him.
I agree.
I think
I understand the point of it.
I think you could say even worse about the guidance counselor.
She's the principal.
Or the principal.
Yeah, she's a problem, obviously.
She is.
she's waiting for one of those kids' quivering member to come into her class, I think. But I have a question. So these couples, they get together, right?
Yeah.
I want to know, where are these couples in between the next 1 and 5 years?
I don't know, because that's the funny thing too. You think about the end of the movie, they get together at the end, but she's going off to college.
Yeah, this is Prom. So in a month or two, they're going to have the summer. Right. They're probably going to have up until about August.
So really, it's a very kind of deflating ending when you look at it that way.
It's like,
you went through all this shit for another couple months of probably
for 5 months, 4 months, maybe
5 fights a day.
I mean, unless he's going to move out there, he
Or
could.
she's going to just not go to school and start her band.
She's going to be a husky. Arr.
Arr. You know, the husky like me.
She might be a husky.
So you think,
Or yeah.
here's what I was thinking. I think Kat, since her name's Kat Strafford, and he got her the Fender Strat, I'm like, what's her stage name going to be? It's going to be like Kat Fender Stratford.
The Strat Cat.
There you go. Or just
The
Cat
Strat
Fender.
Cat. But my thing is, are they in like the next? Are you saying within 5 months they're broken up?
I don't
Long
know.
distance?
I mean, like up to this point, I haven't seen a lot of stability from them in these couple of weeks. So
But that might be what lets them be like booty calls, even when they're not like together.
I really don't know. I mean, I think the most likely thing I see is JGL and Bianca get married right out of high school because she's pregnant with their second child.
I think JGL and Bianca have because they're starting as sophomores, and that means they're going to have time to maybe plan a way to be at college together. But you're right. Although even then, I think this is like every other relationship which happens in high school. All of them will end when college begins.
I think JGL and Bianca would turn into most likely Kevin and Vicky.
Oh yeah,
blowjobs all the time. Not ready for sex yet.
Yeah, they're Kevin and Vicky, and then eventually they do their first time with each other because don't want to do it with someone you don't know, and then
go to college
and then get married to some guy, some strange
guy. And then
guy.
he realizes she was a bitch. I wasted my time on that, and she was pretty self-centered and not super hot anyway.
Which is funny because that's how this whole thing starts with Bianca. So I could see that happening with JGL. He's a more sensitive, caring guy, and she's very into herself.
I don't like the beginning of the movie. JGL like pining for her for no reason, and he's sitting there arguing. There's more to her than you think. It's like, how the fuck do you know? You just got to school 5 minutes ago.
The only thing you just heard was the Prada conversation and the whelmed or whatever.
Right. That should be enough to make you walk away right there.
Yeah. Once I heard that, I'd be like,
she's hot. And in your mind, you want to tell yourself she's a better person than other people think she is.
You're thinking with your dick, sir. You were thinking with your dick. Your dick was driving the ship, okay? That's what's happening.
It really, really was.
In that particular instance. That's why when he says, he says all those things, when Krumholtz mentions a thing about Spank Bank or whatever.
Yeah.
None of that. Oh, except for maybe that.
Except for the spanking. I'm still going to do that.
Now, I want to say the ending of this movie, I kind of love the band on the roof ending. I love that. And the outtakes, if you watch.
The outtakes, too, yes.
The outtakes. That's always nice. That's always
Those
nice.
were good. The whole end with them on the roof, yeah, that was pretty sweet.
So, that's the movie.
Would you be freaked out doing that?
No.
A whole video on the roof like that?
Why?
I just wondered.
There's railings.
I am. There were.
Unless there were stiff winds. It depends on the day. I wouldn't go up there if it's a 30-mile-an-hour gust.
You got some stiff winds. You've also got apparently a helicopter hovering around them too.
Yeah, because they didn't have drones back then. People don't understand. That shot was not easy to get.
Right.
That shot was, and get it still, because people don't understand. That's what makes drones so great, is how still they are. We watch old movies where they're like with the helicopter, and it's so shaky. You're like, what the fuck were they doing? But that was what we thought was good back then. Oh, it's fucking crazy. Okay, what's your what?
It's a true story.
True story. What is your memorabilia, man? You know what time it is.
All right, so I could go a couple different directions here. The Fender Strat would be pretty sweet.
The Strat Cat.
The pregnancy suit actually would be kind of cool.
That one's good.
The black panties.
The ab roller.
The ab roller. Yeah. Yes, that's not the roller. That's the ab crunch, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it might be the?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think actually, I think I wouldn't go with the French book with the hole in it.
That is a truly excellent item.
That would be a cool
I
one
would
to
agree.
display, I think. Because then if people recognize it, is awesome.
That's a good one.
So
that one I do like. I think that one I didn't even think of. That was a good one, man. Now you perplexed me.
I did.
But you know what? I would do what you want to do. Obviously, I think it would be interesting. But I'd want them to sign it. The cast.
Yeah.
I'd want the baby belly.
The baby
I'd want
belly.
the empathy. The empathy belly is what it called.
One other that would actually be really funny and cool because you could have it side by side are the Joey pictures with the black shirt and the white shirt.
Oh, nah, I hate Joey so much. I don't want those.
That would be fun. Just to
it's
have that.
It's not that I wouldn't think it'd be cool. It's just that I don't want that. If I had to pick
No.
one thing, I wouldn't want it to be a Joey thing.
I would want one labeled pensive, the other one thoughtful.
David Krumholtz's motorcycle would be fun.
Yeah, that's not a motorcycle. It's not a fucking motorcycle.
It's an enduro bike. It is a motorcycle. It's an off-road, on-road.
Oh, whatever.
It's called enduro.
It's a fucking scooter.
It's not a scooter. It is a very low cc motorcycle. It's probably a 50 cc, but it's a motorcycle.
It's a scooter.
It is not a scooter. All right, are you ready to rate this thing up?
I'm ready.
I'm first this time, right?
Yes.
I am. I know I am. It's great. 10 things I hate about you. I can count the ways with Anthony, 10 things I hate about him.
I can count way more than 10.
Actually, it's not a lot of things I hate about many people. I can only count about 2 things I hate about Anthony. Yeah, that's about it. So, love you, buddy.
They're both based on jealousy. But go ahead.
This movie came out in 1999. At that point, I was a little older. It's in my early 20s, I think. Yeah. And, still was close enough to my high school I could get into it. I liked it. I really did. It wasn't like the other high school movies that were coming out. It wasn't a raunch fest. I didn't have to see bunches of pairs of titties or people peeing on each other or any other amount of gross out humor that was the thing at the time. So it was kind of nice and refreshing to have one that had a really good love story. Great actors, even though, like you said, you didn't really know it. But the thing I will say is after you saw this and then you saw some of the movies that came out after, you were like, oh, that makes sense because they were really good in that movie. Like Heath Ledger had The Patriot come out real shortly after this. Excellent movie. He's excellent. Was excellent in this. And then Julia Stiles is in The Bourne Identity. So like I said, there was you knew there was talent there. And JGL, what do we have to say?
Yeah,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt just is what he is.
Duh.
500 Days of Summer. Watch it.
And
anyways,
like Verone, or not Verone, Joey is like the only one that whatever.
Joey's the whatever. Krumholtz ends up doing numbers. Brilliant. But when you watch that, you kind of could know that this was a good movie.
Joey ends up being most of the cast of The Sandlot.
He invented the mini mole. Okay. So, maybe Joey should have narrated this. It probably would have gotten better. But
self-stuffing underwear.
But this one was really good. Like I said, it has probably my favorite scene out of all these teen movies with the love bit. I love the singing with the marching band. I think that was something you'd never seen before. Some of the other ones you've seen some of the way they do, like similarities, but that was unique to me. And because of that, and it's a teen movie, I can't make it like super duper high, but I'm giving this one 18.5. It's not 20. Like, I mean, it's still a teen movie. It's not Dark Knight Rises, right? Like it's 10 things I hate about you.
But it's a teen movie, so I mean that just depends on your thoughts on teen movies because you're only gonna score teen movies high if they're more serious movies, I think.
Breakfast Club is a way better movie than this.
It's a more serious movie.
And a better one. Oh, go ahead.
But to me, this is an all-time banger, I think, for teen movies. I think it's something we really didn't even... I didn't know that we mentioned it, is they fucking killed the soundtrack for this.
Oh, yeah! That we talked about the last one we were talking about.
It, yeah.
The soundtrack. Okay, soundtrack's a 20, 22 probably out of 24.
It's fucking awesome. And the fact that, like you said, I mean, the cast is outstanding, except for Joey. It's, it's got its issues, but nothing that's like so bad in it. Like, I mean, I think you're nitpicking at some of the stuff you talked about because you do that. But there's not
Yeah.
stuff in here that you're like, oh my God, how could you get away with that? You know, whereas a lot of movies we've done, we have to look at some of that stuff. They're like,
And take
that
a
is
serious
fucking
look.
messed up. That is messed up. This doesn't have that. So there's no squints trying to assault Wendy Peppercorn stuff going on in this, you know, all that. This just
Fucking a pie.
Exactly. It's a fantastic movie. It's not like, I mean, it's not overly offensive, depending on what you think of Club Skunk. I don't know. Maybe you that, but other than that, you know, having like the band cameos, that's again another awesome thing in here. I give it a 21.5.
Wow.
It's one of my favorite
You're
teen movies.
really high on these.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. And good.
I'm not going to yell at you for that because I understand where you're coming from there.
I appreciate these kind of movies more than you do. So that makes sense.
I wouldn't say that, but I definitely would say that I appreciate them just differently. Like
Okay.
I could put them in their place different. Like you tend to build them up better than
you just said
Kane.
Though. Yeah, but you just said because it's a teen movie.
Well, it's because
so
the subject matter is not as serious, and there are better movies that take on more serious subject matters that are rated much higher.
You see, and we've had this discussion before. When you're in high school, yes, that is serious subject matter.
Well, you talk about Breakfast Club. That one's brilliant, and it still has humor in it, but it also gets pretty serious. So to me, that's like the great balance, right? That's a perfect teen movie to me.
And this is a fantastic one as well.
I would say, yeah. Like if you're saying top 5 ever, I think this is one. Breakfast Club, super bad. Like you're talking about teen movies that are like
and look at
the
that.
best.
You've got 3 very different types of movies right there too.
But they're all brilliant for their own.
This is more like this is your safer side of how to do a teen comedy.
Yes, this is much safer. Oh. That's what I say. Yeah. There's no titties. There's no webcam.
Right.
Sex weirdness going on.
And at the same time, you've got underage drinking, smoking, switchblades, fighting, going through a window. You've got some shit going on.
There is switchblades there's a switchblade in Breakfast Club.
And there's a switchblade in Breakfast Club. Yes.
Yeah.
But it was as a threat to a person, not a dead frog.
Not a frog.
Different.
So anyways, this movie's great. What does that put it? What's the score?
We're at a 20.
A 20? Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's a little high, but
so
what is it?
American Pie, 18, which you just mentioned, 18.25.
Yeah, that one's not that good.
Because you gave it a 12.5.
It's not good. Not compared to this movie. This movie's way better than that movie.
16
I could
Candles.
watch this one over and over again. I just watched this a second time.
16 Candles, 16.
Yeah.
And you only gave that a half point up. You gave 16 Candles a 19.
Yeah.
So let's see. Do we got any more?
It's classic. These two movies are like the classics. Like when you go back and you think of classic scenes, there's, these movies have them.
Let's see here. House Party.
No.
Only since Chill's in it, so I got to throw that one in. 15.25.
Yeah.
Fast Times, 21.5.
That's classic. It created the mold at which these are all made, kind of. Ensemble cast. Although that one, I would have to say what's funny about Fast Times is that it's more like, it's almost more similar to Pulp Fiction on how it jumps around, but it does it chronologically, but it jumps around like that to different types of characters and different sets of people. So I'd say that's.
You only gave Fast Times a 19.
It's a great movie. That's a lot for that movie.
Let's see. Encino Man, 17.25.
Yeah, it's good, but not great.
Mean Girls, 16.
I wasn't much of a fan of that one. Would I give that a 14?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Heathers, 17.5.
I gave that one a 14 or 13.
Pretty in Pink, 13.5.
That's a bad one. I mean, John Hughes is great, but
yeah,
that one was just, there's 24 scenes, but as a movie, it just wasn't that good. It was as above a little bit above average because of the
I
cast.
agree. So
Yeah.
Clueless 17.25 because you hammered it because you're a dick.
Well, I wasn't a fan. Sorry.
But yeah, so I gave this a 21.5. I gave Clueless a 21. So, and that's
Hey,
actually
this is a better movie than Clueless.
I think, yeah, I'd have to go with this over that. So
I would watch this movie over that one every day.
we got Varsity Blues at 19.25.
Yeah.
So
I didn't give that as high as you did.
yeah, you did. You gave it 8. Well, you gave it 18.5, just
Did
like
I?
this.
Okay.
I gave
But
it a
you
20.
gave it. Yeah,
I gave it a
I
20.
didn't give it as high as you.
I gave this higher. So
Because you can only go. That's a serious movie.
I think, but it's a funny too. There's a lot of ridiculous stuff in it. So
Yeah, whipped cream bikinis. That's
Can't Buy
always
Me-
fun.
Can't Buy Me Love, which I find interesting given that it is similar to this where it revolves around paying money for women. 17.5.
Yeah, but it had some problems.
Right.
And yeah,
Well, that's what I
that's
said. This is the safer movie. 10 Things
Yeah.
is the safer movie.
yeah. 10 Things is like much safer. The only part that is the least safe about this movie was the flashing scene. Flashing a teacher. It's kind of
Right.
yeah. Okay, so that's good.
I'm a dick right now. Julia Stiles, does it really count as flashing?
Oh, now don't shame a woman for her.
Apparently like
That's
Joey showing us his dick. From what
Julia
I've heard.
Stiles. I'm sure she has nice, pert little breasts. Don't be mean. Anyways, that's it. So that's what you
Yeah.
get. That's what we think of movies, and
Get
that's
what
where
you
they're
get,
at.
don't throw a fit.
And we would like to thank you for listening and giving us your time. And don't forget to check out all our shit. Like I said, Google us. We're everywhere. That's about it. Anything else from you?
Thank you for listening. Please keep listening and tell your friends to listen because we want them to want us.
We want you to want me.
Well, they already do. If you're listening, you already do. So
I want you to want me, like Letters to Cleo.
Yeah.